recently got my hands on the newly released OnePlus Watch 3, and I have to say I haven't really worn that many Wear OS watches in the past. I tend to stick to Garmin devices purely because I'm mostly a runner, and if anyone is known for running watches, it's Garmin. But I have tested a few over the years, a few Wear OS watches, and I have to say the OnePlus Watch 3 is one of the best devices I've tested. It has awesome battery life, all the Google third-party apps you'd ever want, the latest version of Google's operating system, and excellent health features. Plus, it's fast and smooth with the Snapdragon W5 chip and 32 gigabytes of memory. Now in this video, I'm comparing it to the Garmin Forerunner 955, which is my default watch that I use for running, and I'm testing the running ability of the OnePlus Watch 3. Now, the device covers over 100 sports, and some of these with auto recognition. It's got a new dual-band GPS chip on board, excellent water resistance, military-grade toughness, and a sapphire crystal face, so it's built to last. Now, I have to say, I've tested it over 5 or 6 different runs against the Forerunner, and to cut a long story short, I'm very impressed. Starting with the GPS, and the GPS is very, very quick to connect, almost instant, just as quick as the Garmin, sometimes quicker. And it's just as accurate. Both devices have a dual-band GPS chip, and both are quite good at tracking your activity. For example, the most recent run I did is a 5K through central London, and over that distance there was only a 20-meter difference between the two devices, which is quite good, especially as I was running through heavily built-up areas. Now, as far as the heart rate monitor, that one also performed well. I actually tested it against the Garmin connected to a Scotia Rhythm chest strap. Now you have to know that the OnePlus Watch 3 cannot be connected to a external chest strap, and that is a negative. But its built-in heart rate monitor still performs very well. Over this 5K distance, both the heart rate monitor and the OnePlus Watch clocked 143 beats per minute. There was a slight difference though in the peak heart rate, where the OnePlus measured 161 beats per minute, whereas the heart rate monitor measured 163 beats per minute. So a slight difference there, and if you're planning to use the OnePlus Watch 3 for example, high intensity running, HIIT running, then it might struggle a bit. Now here you can see a side-by-side view of the stats that you get on the OnePlus Watch 3 and on the Garmin. The OnePlus Watch is on the left-hand side, and I was actually pleasantly surprised at some of the stats that the OnePlus Watch was dishing out. For example, you get running form statistics, but the software goes a step further. It doesn't just give you the numbers, it actually explains it in simple language so that you can see where you stand. So you get all these nice little charts. So that's one negative with Garmin. You get a lot of data, but not as much in terms of actual insights. OnePlus Watch 3 spells everything out for you, so you know exactly where you stand. You get all the typical stats like VO2 max, which actually showed a value that was slightly lower than what I got on my Garmin. And you get some interesting stats that you don't get on the Garmin, like the ones you're looking at the moment, to do with fat burning. Of course, you get, as I mentioned, VO2 max, which they call cardio fitness, and you get a recovery time score. So I have to say I was pleasantly surprised, not just with the way the watch performed, but also with its software. Garmin is a dedicated sports watch, so it's built for that sort of thing. But I would actually say that OnePlus Watch 3 is not just a smartwatch. It crosses the border into a proper sports watch as well. Now, of course, if you had the ability to connect to third-party chest straps, it would make it even better. But at the moment, there is no such ability. Now, I have to say the device is fairly chunky and heavy. Actually, in terms of dimensions, it's not too different from the Garmin Forerunner 955, but it is heavier. But the weight is distributed in such a way that it doesn't really move on your wrist very much when you're running, and that's important for someone like me who has small wrists. And If it moves a lot, then the heart rate data can be compromised, but I didn't experience that with the OnePlus Watch 3. The display is also excellent with 1.5 inches in diameter and up to 2200 nits of peak brightness. And I mentioned that the device has auto tracking ability, so I got that kicked in for my walks and one of my runs. And you do lose about 200 meters until it starts tracking, but actually, I mean, you don't want the auto tracking ability to kick in, for example, if you're running after a bus and do a 100-meter dash for that. So, all in all, these are still early days of testing. I've just been testing it for about 5 days. I plan to publish my full review in about 10 days' time, so keep an eye out for that. But early impressions are very, very positive. I have to say I am impressed with the OnePlus Watch 3. It's not for everyone. It is a masculine looking device and fairly heavy, but if you're into that sort of thing, it's a good choice.